G'day mates, Levin here and welcome to the 1997 Austrian Grand Prix from the A1 ring just as held in Spielberg, Austria. Now, a few things I'm going to mention before we start the race. First off, as you're watching this video you will notice that the sound is slightly out of sync with the rest of the video. I'm not sure what has happened there. I think it has something to do with the video recording program, but hopefully with the next race it should be resolved or at a stage playable. Second thing to do with the race, big news. As you heard at the end of the last video, I was talking to a few teams in regards to what I'm doing next year, but I've made the decision to join Benetton for 1998. This is mainly to replace Jean Alesi, because I heard he was having bad relations with Flavio Briatore, the boss of Benetton, so they were looking for a new driver. But as we saw from this race, just after qualifying, Gerhard Berger, the second Benetton driver, announced his retirement from Formula 1 racing. So, bit of sad news there, but Berger's had a great career in Ferrari, McLaren, Benetton, variety of teams, so we wish the best of luck for him in the future. But it's also given Benetton another problem, that they've gotten a second driver to fill up, so be eager to see how they're going to fill that up in the next few months. Okay, now, the A1 ring, the Austrian Grand Prix. This year, the 97 Austrian Grand Prix is the first time Austria has held a Grand Prix in 10 years. It was originally held on the Österreich ring, which is this track pretty much, but whereas on the pit straight we veer right and go up the hill, it goes over the hill, around very quickly, and then comes back. It was a very, very fast track. But because of safety concerns, it was tossed from the calendar in 1987. But since then, it had been bought by telecommunications company A1, renovated to the track you see now, and held Formula 1 again for a couple of years until 2003, where it was taken off again for improvements, which went very far behind schedule. Red Bull bought it, finished renovating the track, and it became the Red Bull Ring, which returned to the Formula 1 calendar after 10 years again. So, funny that. Anyway, let's get to real life. Apart from Berger's retirement announcement, the winner of the race was Jacques Villeneuve, followed by David Coulthard in second and Heinz-Harald Frenz in third. A big incident during this race is a collision between Eddie Irvine's Ferrari and Jean Alesi's Benetton at the Ramus hairpin. That's corner 3 or 4. Alesi maybe went a bit too fast into that corner, clipped with Irvine's car, and was catapulted over Irvine's nose. So both cars were out of the race there. There was those who had to be assessed by the stewards if they were penalised or not, but as such, they didn't get penalised. Okay, with that behind us, let's look at our drivers' standings for this race. In first place, we have Michael Schumacher on 78 points. He scored 6 points back in Italy. He came second just behind Kent Levin. So that increases his points tally by up to 26 points ahead of Jacques Villeneuve. So Villeneuve still has a chance of taking the World Championship, but it is increasingly disappearing from his grasp. So Villeneuve really needs to perform here if he wants to keep his World Championship hopes alive. Behind Villeneuve, which is on 52 points, we have Jean Alesi on 49. He still has a theoretical chance at taking the World Championship. It's being increasingly unlikely. Behind him, Eddie Irvine on 38 points. He is officially out of the World Championship race, because if he wins the next couple of races and Michael Schumacher does not finish, Schumacher will still be world champion because he's had more wins or more success this season than Irvine. Following behind him is Heinz-Harald Frenz, failing to score last round and the round before that. He's still on 29 points. And behind him we got Gerhard Berger on 24, scoring 2 points in Italy. So he's keeping a little battle with Frenz alive, but Berger has now got Kent Levin on his back door. After Levin's breakthrough win in Italy, his point score is now up to 21 points, so only 3 points behind Berger. If Levin goes well for the next few races, we could very much see him overtake Berger, maybe Frentzen, in the championship. Rounding out the top 10, we got Giancarlo Fisichella on 11, Olivier Panis on 9, and Rubens Barrichello in the second steward on 7 points. And in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari are on 116 points, so they've got a really good lead going on. Followed by Williams Renault on 81. Not out of the World Championship race yet, but like Villeneuve, they're losing their grip on it. In third place, Benetton Renault on 76. So Benetton technically still in the championship race, but considering how well Williams and Ferrari are going, I don't see them in the chase for too much longer. Followed behind them, Stuart Ford is leading the second battle pack on 28 points after scoring 10 points back in Italy. They've pulled out a good 12-point lead over Jordan Peugeot, who failed to score last race. They're still on 16. And following behind them, we got Prost on 14 and McLaren Mercedes on 6 points. So with that, let's have a look at the starting grid for today's race. Here we go, the starting grid for the Austrian Grand Prix, and in the lead we have Jacques Villeneuve with 12.131, followed by Michael Schumacher, so good result for Jacques Villeneuve there. Equally good for Untitled Chapter, starting at third, followed by Irvine, Coulthard and Gerhard Berger. 6th place for his home Grand Prix, not too bad. Excuse me. Hakkinen, Alesi, Fisichella and Schumacher, the two Jordans, 9th and 10th. Followed by Johnny Herbert, Sauber, Olivier Panis' Price, and there's Levin with a 113, so 13th. Not terribly bad. I didn't feel as confident on this track as I did back at Barrichello 15.420. Didn't feel as confident here as I did back at Monza. This felt like a fairly average track to me, so I got a very predictable position as a result. Similarly can be said for my teammate Rubens Barrichello. He's starting down, I think, 18th. Similar to what he got at Monza, so fairly normal race for Stuart. Hopefully, what I've learned in Italy, I can use here to maybe get a jump on a few of the drivers, maybe again into the top 10. We shall see. Looking down to the back of the grid, we got Shinji Nakano, Jos Verstappen, Mika Sala, Jarno Trulli. Trulli still driving from Minardi at this point. And then Rubens Barrichello, Damon Hill in the Arrows, Yukio Katayama, and Pedro Diniz. Okay, here we go. We're on the outside. This should be okay as we come to the first corner. 2, 1, and go! Austria 1997 is a go. And we see Levin getting a good start coming up behind one of the Jordans. Falls behind them. Alright, we're veering out to the outside as we come to the first corner. Heavy on the brakes. Oh, okay, a bit too slow coming out of there. We got lost one of the stewards and one of the pros, but not to worry. We're in 11th place. We've gone up 2 positions, which is very good. As we come up to Ramus hairpin for the first time. Oh, a bit like that. Oh, it's going a bit too quick. And he's made contact. He's made contact with Johnny Herbert. Didn't look like it was terribly bad, but Herbert spun out. So I think Levin will need to have a talking to by the stewards of the race, not Stewart Grand Prix, at the end of this race. Herbert must be fuming from that decision. As we come into Gorsa for the first time. Oh, a bit too wide coming out of there, but not a problem. Levin still takes 10th place. Now we're coming down to Power Horse for the bend for the first time. Not too bad. Now we're coming into Niki Lauda corner now. Not too bad there. He's still losing a bit of time from driver ahead, which I assume will be one of the Jordans. As we come to Jochen Rindt curve, I don't exactly like this. Well, I particularly don't like this corner here, A1 curves, because it's tighter than Jochen Rindt. And I normally, as we saw there, go off there. Yep, Ralf Schumacher's in the lead by 2.4 seconds as we come across the finishing line to complete our first lap. And already we're in 10th place, so we've gone up 3 positions, so not too bad. Got the makings for a relatively successful Grand Prix for today.
He's calm, he's relaxed, he is in charge.
Precisely. Judging from our qualifying position, we're not aiming on winning this race. We'll just see how well we can go. Just biding our time and passing where necessary. Ralf Schumacher's only...
He's coming up from behind now.
not terribly far ahead, so we should be able to catch him in the next few laps, particularly coming out of corners such as Ramus would get a good run out, and particularly coming out of Jochen Rindt and A1 curve. Those corners, despite...
Michael Schumacher in second. Williams number 1. Third, Heitz Harold Frentzen. In fourth place, Mika Hakkinen. What's happened? In fifth place, Eddie Irvine. In sixth position, David Coulthard.
Okay, sounds like a very neat top 6. We got a combination of Williams, Ferrari, and McLaren. As we come up behind Ralf Schumacher, as we come into A1, oh, looks like Levin has got a good run coming out of that, and he's gone for the overtake of Ralf Schumacher. He has crossed the finish line into 9th place. Kent Levin from Australia. As we come into Castrol for the to start our 3rd lap.
Sensational. He's passed Ralf Schumacher.
And now, who have we got next? According to my statutes, I think it's Jean de Lacy in the Benetton. Like me, he hasn't had a really good qualifying position, despite his good showing for the last 2 races, so we're in the same boat here. We should be, if everything goes well, we should be able to hang on to his rear end as we come into through the 2nd sector and tag him back on the pit straight like we did Ralf Schumacher. As we come into Gorso again, oh, we only just a car length or 2 behind Lacy now. And the back of the... What in the world? Yes, this is what I was talking about. That was a big one in the... when I actually was filming that video, this video. There goes Morbidelli. It froze for a second. I was like, oh no, what's going on? And the next thing I saw, I was going off the dirt. I hadn't finished the corner and it just went straight on. It may be the recording program, because I'm playing this off the recording program on my computer. But as a precaution, next race I'm going to be playing this on the actual television. The PS3 going straight to the TV and recording on this, because in case we have any more problems, I wouldn't know if it's the game, not the recording program. But anyway, looking back at the situation, we are now down in 10th place, so we've lost 2 positions. No, actually, we only just lost 1. We lost 2. We were in 9th before. We lost it to Ralf Schumacher's Jordan after doing a really good overtake. And then Gianni Morbidelli's Sauber managed to get past us. But I think Ralf Schumacher has gone into the pit, or someone's gone into the pit, so I assume 10th place. Not what I would have liked, and considering looking at the cars up ahead, it's going to be a bit harder for me to get any good higher up positions. But we're in 10th. There's a top 10, just, in a way, respectable. And in the lead, we got Michael Schumacher, 6.2 seconds ahead of Jacques Villeneuve, and then behind him, we got Hunt-Harold Frentzen, the 2 Williams, very close behind there, as Schumacher completes his 4th lap, and looks like he's got a big distance ahead of everyone. Yes, 6 seconds over Villeneuve, and Frentzen is another 3 seconds behind him. And I think looking behind there, oh no, Kent Levin must have come out of A1 very badly, as Gianni Morbidelli in the Salvo passes him. But Gianni Morbidelli has not ran away with the... Yep, as predicted, Morbidelli loses the position to Levin. Levin's back into 10th place. Oh, Levin went a bit wide coming out of Raiders there.
Eddie Irvine. In 6th place, David Coulthard.
Now Levin has to keep Morbidelli behind him as we come to the pit. Sounds like Morbidelli hasn't pitted in either, so both cars are going to be pitting in this lap. Hopefully, pitting in this lap will help me with my positions. We understand that some drivers, such as maybe Coulthard or Villeneuve and Frentzen even, have pitted in earlier to get a good run on Michael Schumacher or the rest of the top 6 coming into this. But we are pitting on this lap, so let's hope that some of the front runners are going to be pitting on the 6th lap so we can overtake them as we come out. As Kent Levin comes to the pits and looking behind him, Gianni Morbidelli has followed suit.
The team mechanics are out in the pit now. The tyre covers are off and they're getting ready to receive their man. Right,
turning in the box now. Fuel done. Tyres done. 4.3 seconds maybe held up because one of the cars that is ahead of me. And we look to be rejoining the race in 12th, maybe 13th place. And Villeneuve has taken the lead from Michael Schumacher. as one of the Tyrrells passes Levin as it comes out, and almost passes him by another Tyrrell, or it was a Barrichello, I'm not sure. But Levin has got the draft on Jos Verstappen as he overtakes him as he's coming into Ramus.
He's breaking hard.
And slightly off at Ramus too. Levin's having a little bit of a hard time trying to keep the car on the track. Several corners now, I can just count that he's been going a little bit wide and off course. But Levin is up to 13th place now, as predicted from pit stop, but hopefully some of the drivers ahead of them have not pitted in and will be doing it this lap.
In 8th place, Olivier Panis. 9th, Mika Hakkinen.
Yeah, Michael Schumacher has pitted in on the same lap as me. That's given the lead to Villeneuve and Frentzen. So really good positions for the Williams here, and be more than valuable to both Villeneuve and Williams' titles hopes. Yeah, we see Ken Levin going a little bit off again at A1. That's been a bit of a difficult corner, but if he can get around it appropriately, that corner gives him a good pace coming down onto the pit straight.
Beautiful. He's got past.
Ah, yes. It looks like a couple of drivers went to the pit, so we are shooting now 11th place. So we're back up to where we were initially after those whole debacles began. Michael Schumacher's got the fastest lap with a 1:13.5, so that was probably early on in the race because Michael Schumacher's down in 6th place last I saw. But considering his pace and who's ahead, I think one of the McLarens and his teammates at least are in front of him, so we should be able to, yes, Gerhard Berger's Benetton, David Coulthard's McLaren, and his team and Schumacher's teammate Eddie Irvine are ahead of him. But Schumacher's coming up behind Berger quite well, so we should see a battle going there in a minute. As Villeneuve completes the second lap, Michael Schumacher did get past. He's 7 seconds behind Villeneuve. The top three: Villeneuve, Frentzen, Irvine. And looking at Kent Levin, he's 3.8 seconds behind Jean Alesi.
Number 1. In second position, Mike's Harold Frentzen. Third, Eddie Irvine. Fourth, Michael Schumacher. What's happened? As he crosses the line, only 3 more laps left. Fifth, Giancarlo Fisichella. In 6th place, Olivier Panis.
Very interesting results there. Obviously, Berger and Coulthard have pitted in. That's given 5th and 6th place to Giancarlo Fisichella in the Jordan and Olivier Panis in the Prix. And thinking of Panis, actually, this is the last, if this was in the real life, this will be the last race Gianna Trulli will be filling in for Olivier Panis. Panis will be returning at the next round in Luxembourg after his major crash back in Canada where he broke both legs. If this was in the real life, Trulli's efforts when Panis was out would reward him with a drive for 1998.
The gap is increasing. He's only got 2 laps to go. Okay, let's see how the drivers are doing lower down the order. In 10th place, Jean Alesi. In 11th place, Jan Magnussen. In 12th place, Jos Verstappen.
Okay, as we resume the race, Jean Alesi is 7 seconds ahead of Kent Levin, so I don't think Levin is going to get any more positions here. Bit disappointing because we had the pace and the confidence to get us in the top 10, but after the video issues we're having there, I'm going to assume that it's mechanical issues. And
He's losing
the rest of the debacle, we didn't get as much as we want. But this race does bring us back down to earth a bit, back to where we normally do after 2 really excellent races, so I think that's fair considering everyone else. Hopefully next year I will be more towards the front because I'll be with a better team. as we cross the line now to start our final lap. If I look at my times, Jacques Villeneuve, yes, he may be... Wow, big gap between Michael Schumacher and Giancarlo Fisichella, so I can only assume that Kent Levin is about 30 seconds behind Jacques Villeneuve. So, considering the top two are Williams, looks like it's going to be Williams 1-2, Villeneuve then Francis. So, it's going to be a very excellent result for Williams and would help them stay very firmly in the World Championship race. 35 seconds, just as I thought.
It's a win for the Canadian. I'm sure Frank Williams and the rest of the Williams team will be absolutely delighted with this win. In second place, Heinz Harald Frentzen. Third, Eddie Irvine.
Tyre wear is getting bad. Coming to the pits.
The gap is growing.
So yeah,
Tyre is getting bad.
a 1-2 for Williams. Really good result and keeps him very firmly in the World Championship. I'm very happy as a Williams fan that Williams is that much close to winning the World Championship. Yay! And as we see, Kent Levin now crossing the finish line in 11th place. Ooh, and looks like just behind me is Jos Verstappen in the Tyrrell, so 12th place. That will have to be one of the better results for Tyrrell this season. So in a way, you could say that they are one of the last of the mid-pack teams, or maybe? Not sure. I know Minardi for a fact is last, one of the back market teams. And thinking about it, maybe Tyrrell as well, or maybe Sauber. I'm not sure, despite their sponsorship by Petronas and Sauber. Oh, Red Bull, sorry. Anyway, looking at the race classification, Jacques Villeneuve takes his first win since San Marino. 1.7 seconds over Heinz Harald Frentzen, so it's Williams 1-2 and maximum points for the team. That's going to be a big jump to both Villeneuve and Williams' title hopes. Now they've just got to keep on this good progress for the next 3 rounds to the end of the season. Following behind them to round out the podium, Eddie Irvine. So Eddie Irvine is keeping Ferrari ahead of Williams there, just 2.9 seconds behind Villeneuve. And Vertus is behind Irvine. We've got Michael Schumacher. I'm not sure exactly what happened. I think he must have pitted in early or had a problem or something, because he's fallen back considering he started second and was leading at the first few races and even got the fastest lap with a 1:13.492, but Lady Luck wasn't looking down on him today. Rounding out the top 6, we got Giancarlo Fisichella, 20 seconds behind Michael Schumacher, so this is the start of another battle pack, followed by David Coulthard. Some more points for McLaren there, so really good result for him. And Kent Levin, 39.6 seconds behind Villeneuve in 11th place. And now looking at the Drivers' Championship, Michael Schumacher is still in the lead on 81 points, but he's had his lead cut a little bit by 7 points. Jacques Villeneuve is now on 62 points, so 19 points behind Michael Schumacher. So Michael Schumacher's lost quite a bit of ground, but he's still in a favourable position for the World Championship. With 3 rounds to go, Villeneuve, if he wants to catch up, he needs to keep winning, and Michael Schumacher get no points ideally, but very little points to help bring the championship towards the final round. Following behind them is Jean Alesi. Jean Alesi failed to score this round, so he's still on 49, and as such, putting himself and Benetton out of the World Championship race because of both the great results of Ferrari and Williams, have them occupying the first 4 positions, and with neither Benetton scoring this round. So that's put both Benetton and Alesi out of the World Championship race. So it's now a 2-horse race between Schumacher and Villeneuve, and Williams and Ferrari. Just like in real life, I'm very keen to see how this will turn out. Following behind Jean Alesi is Eddie Irvine. Irvine's caught up a little bit. He's now on 42, so 7 points behind Jean Alesi. And behind them, Heinz Harald Frentzen. He's put out a lead over Gerhard Berger on 35 points, so 11 points ahead of Berger and 7 points behind Irvine as well. So Frentzen's in a very good position at the moment. And following behind Gerhard Berger, Kent Levin. on 21 points. So those two haven't changed in regards to position and or points. But it has, with Giancarlo Fisichella scoring 5th place, has moved his points tally up to 13. So he's looks to be quite firmly established in 8th place at this point, although he is 4 points ahead of Olivier Panis. But Panis didn't score this round, so we shall see in that respect. Rounding out the top 10, Rubens Barrichello still on 7 points. The other point scorer this round, David Coulthard, he's on 4 points, so that sees him drawing 12th place with Alex Wirtz and Shinji Nakano. And in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari are on 125 points, which puts them, 28 points ahead of Williams Renault. So they've lost quite a bit of lead there, with Williams scoring maximum points, the full 16 points, and that jumps them up to 97. And also, as I said before, Benetton is out of the World Championship race. They're a bit behind Williams. They are on 76, so 21 points behind Williams. And in the second battle pack, Stewart Ford failed to score, so they're still on 28, and Jean and Peugeot are now a full 10 points behind on 18. Following behind them, Prost, Nugent, Honda are on 14, and McLaren Mercedes on 7 after scoring 1 point this round. So there we have it from Austria. Fairly normal race. Williams comes back into the fray. Be very interesting to see how they go for the next few rounds. I hope you all guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in Luxembourg. Sort of.